Welcome to the second episode in the Points and Miles Academy video series. In the first episode, we went through credit cards and pretty much set that foundation for everything you really need to know as far as points and miles and credit cards are concerned. And in this video, we're going to be going over the different types of points and miles that you need to be aware of and know the rules and nuances. And what I'm going to introduce later in the video is the points and miles hierarchy, which is going to give you a lot more information on what to use these points for, how they can be used, and what do you actually want to set more value into during certain times, because it's very important. So that's what we're going to get into. Let's get into it. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to Mike's Travels and Cents, where I go over points and travel strategies, and more importantly, how not to go broke while enjoying it all. If that sounds good to you, consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on future content like this. And if you found some value in this video, drop me a like to let me know. But with all that out of the way, let's get into the video. So the first thing you need to know about points and miles is that there is actually a hierarchy. The further you get away from cash, the less valuable those points are, because the less flexibility comes along with those types of points. And to make this easy for anybody to understand, I've pretty much created a diagram that's going to spell this out, and it's going to really make the rules and everything I'm going to talk about a little more easier to understand when you can see it visually. So at the very top you have cash, and I put the crown on it because everybody knows cash is king. Cash, anything you can spend, anything you can buy legally, you can usually get it with cash, sometimes even illegally. But anyway, anything you can buy, you can get it with cash. So it's at the very top. Down from there, we have bank points. And by bank points, I mean the big three: the ultimate rewards, the membership rewards, and the thank you points. And those are going to be from Chase, American Express, and Citi, respectively, in the order in which I named those off. So those are the next down, and with the exception of the bottom two, merchandise and restaurants, which we'll get into, all of these can pretty much be redeemed for a cash value. Now obviously less than what you would get if you were to use these on their intended purpose, and by intended purpose I mean travel, especially in the context of this video. But you won't be able to redeem them for their best value by redeeming them to cash, but you do have the option to redeem them for cash. So bank points, now these are the right below cash because these are the most flexible underneath cash. And I say most flexible because you can see with the arrows you can transfer these points to either airlines or hotels. Now what you have to notice is that these aren't double-sided arrows, these are one way. And the most important thing you need to know about these bank points is that once you transfer them into a loyalty program, that's it. You can never transfer them back up to the original currency. So for example, if you have some membership reward points and you want to transfer them to Hilton, then once you transfer them to Hilton, you can never get them back as membership reward points. You can never transfer from Hilton to membership rewards. And even if for some reason you had to cancel whatever hotel trip you were planning and you couldn't go on that trip, like everything that's going on, you couldn't go on that trip, you can't, even if you get a refund, it'll only be with Hilton. It doesn't matter that you transfer those points from American Express. So that's one of the most important things to know about these bank points, is that once you transfer them into a program, that is where they will remain, which is why I have over 60,000 Delta SkyMiles right now, because I had to cancel the flight that me and my wife were planning for our Japan trip, so those points are stuck with Delta. Fortunately, that was the only points I transferred, and we didn't get too invested in all that stuff. But anyway, so that's why I have over 60,000 SkyMiles stuck with Delta right now. Moving down the hierarchy and looking at airlines and hotels, and one of the things you'll notice is that there are now arrows between them. And this is because you can actually transfer some hotel brands points to certain airlines, and this is probably most popular with Marriott, where you can transfer at a 3-to-1 ratio to some of those harder to earn airline miles. So Marriott is a good example of this, where you can transfer some hotel points to some airline miles. And in some cases, there are some opportunities for you to transfer airline miles to hotel points, though it's generally at the cost of a pretty steep haircut as far as value goes. And one of the other things to note is that airlines generally have pretty much their own travel portal, where instead of like transferring those miles to a specific program, you can pretty much just use those miles to redeem for hotel stays at pretty much any hotel brand without actually transferring miles to that brand. And generally you're probably going to get a pretty crappy value doing it that way, using their travel portals, but it is a way you can technically use those miles as well. Another thing to note at this level is the fact that you can also transfer airline miles and hotel points to merchandise chains such as like Apple, some of the other basically like Apple, Best Buy, and by that I mean you can get like certain gift cards with certain programs to spend at these stores or certain restaurants. And also do want to note, because there's no depiction of this arrow going directly to these things, but it's kind of implied, but anyway, you can actually directly transfer those bank points, so those membership reward points, those ultimate rewards, or those thank you points. You can directly basically redeem those points for gift cards to certain restaurants and to certain store brands as well. Again, though, definitely not the best way to be using those points. As you can see, they're pretty high up on the flexibility and value scale in the hierarchy, so you definitely want to make smart decisions with those, and using those to get restaurant gift cards or merchandise gift cards are not the best, because you don't get the best value. And I'm not really speaking on value in this video, but I've made some content on that in the past, and if you guys really want to see what value looks like with points, I can make a more updated specific video on that, so let me know if you want to see that in the comments down below. But anyway, moving down the hierarchy, and we have merchandise and restaurants. Now what you'll see is that there is actually an arrow from merchandise to restaurants, and this is going to be in a few cases. Like Verizon is the one at the top of my head, where they have a rewards program where you can pretty much basically just by paying your bill on time and everything, you can choose to get certain gift cards to certain things. And they do partner with some restaurants. I think Panera, which I like never go to. Panera is on that list that you can actually use your Verizon rewards program to get a gift card for. So yeah, that's pretty much the hierarchy. And the big things you really want to take away from this is the fact that once you go down that ladder in this hierarchy, you cannot go back up. Now, just to repeat, you can actually redeem some of those airline miles or hotel points for cash, but it will not be at the best value that you can actually get from that specific currency. So once you move those airline miles down to a certain restaurant gift card, you can't bring that gift card and say, hey, I want these airline miles back. It doesn't work that way. So make smart decisions when you're transferring, or really just using your points in general, which will definitely get more into that once we get into the redeeming portion of this Points and Miles Academy video series. So that was the graphic, and I think that's a pretty good starting foundation just right there for what you need to know about the different types of points and miles and how they relate to cash. But here are some more rules that you really need to be aware of as you're getting into points and miles. And the one thing you definitely want to be aware of is the fact, again, as you move down that hierarchy, it gets more and more restrictive. Not only that, but unlike cash, points are all tied into the overarching program's rules. So with that, there are things you have to worry about, like point expiration. There's also transfer minimums you have to worry about. And as you move down that hierarchy, the best uses, as in the instances where you can get the best value from those points or miles, is going to get narrower and narrower. So when you're up at that bank points tier, when you're at the membership rewards or ultimate rewards or thank you points tier, there's a lot of options that you have to get some really good value from those points. But then once you transfer them into a hotel or an airline, for example, now the best case you can get is specifically using it for that airline or specifically using it for that hotel. If you try and use those airline miles or hotel points for something else, you're really taking a haircut as far as value. So now that we got the hierarchy out of the way, we got the rules out of the way, now let's talk about the best thing: earning those points. Well, actually, I guess the best thing would actually be redeeming those points, but earning can be pretty fun as well. Now, obviously you have the sign-up bonuses and general credit card spend. Everybody pretty much is familiar with that way of earning points. But there are ways you can actually earn points without opening a single credit card. Just being part of certain loyalty programs like these airline companies or these hotel brands, just by staying at their hotels or flying their aircraft, you can be earning those points or miles without even having a credit card. Now, obviously, having those brands' credit cards are definitely going to increase your earning capability when using their products. Another solid method to actually earn points, though, is through the use of referral links. Now, if you've been in around this community for a while, you may know that referral links are a huge motivation for people to get out and create content just like this. For me, I really enjoy it. I'm not saying like, oh, I don't care about the referrals. Obviously, that's nice. But referrals are a great way to earn a lot of points, especially if you have a good network of people that are actually willing to sign up for credit cards if they think there's some value to be had. And referrals is pretty much where you take a custom link generated from whichever program or credit card issuer you are working with, and you take that and somebody signs up for a credit card or creates an account depending on whether it's a credit card or a certain program, and once they perform certain actions or just create the account, you in turn can get some type of referral bonus. And usually this is in the case of like free money or a sign up bonus, I mean like a mini point bonus, or maybe like a discount on some type of fee. They're all pretty much the same concept though, and it's a good way to earn points with credit cards is using referral links. But yeah, if you do want to sign up for any of these cards or anything, your boy does have some referral links in the comment section of this video. Again, I don't really do it for the referrals, but if you do want to sign up for a card or certain programs, because again, it's not only credit cards that you have to sign up for that offer some type of referral bonus. So yeah, check out the links in the description if you're interested. Another huge tool for earning a lot of points though is those shopping portals. Now you have brand specific shopping portals, and then you have credit card issuer shopping portals as well. So American Express has a shopping portal, Chase has a shopping portal, and I don't have any Citi cards, but I'm pretty sure they have a shopping portal as well. And pretty much the concept is that you can do your online shopping through these shopping portals, and pretty much instead of just getting regular cash back, or in some cases you can just get cash back, you will be getting rewarded for spending through these shopping portals. It's pretty much like a huge referral link for these issuers or for these companies, and so they're getting some type of kickback from the companies that are hosted on their shopping portal, and then we get a little bit of that kickback they got. Thanks, Nami. Yeah, that was my dog sighing. I don't know if you guys heard that, but anyway, so shopping portals are huge. Marriott has a shopping portal as well, so there are brand specific ones, and pretty much every airline has its own shopping portal, and these are a great way to actually earn a lot more points, especially if you're using credit cards and the bonus categories might not be the best. You can kind of compensate that by spending through these shopping portals to actually make more points or miles than you would have through just regular credit card spend. Now, another interesting thing with these shopping portals is that there are some independent ones like Rocket Miles, Points Hound, and there's definitely another that I can't think of off the top of my head, but there are some independent shopping portals that are pretty much more so geared towards hotels, and you can earn a various different number of points or miles just by booking your hotels through these programs. Now, up front, there are some issues when it comes to pricing, so you definitely want to do your research before just booking. But if you know you're getting a good deal, these are some very good options to possibly get some points in some very hard to earn airlines or hotel categories. And a really good resource, which it won't show you like things like Points Hound or Rocket Miles, but it is a good resource for the more general travel portals, and that is a tool that I use all the time called Cashback Monitor. And you can pretty much go on there and just search for a brand or anything really, and it'll show you all the different shopping portals that offer that product, not product, but offer that brand or that website. And you can see exactly how much cash back you get from each of these shopping portals if you were to go through that portal and make that purchase. Now, when it comes to making these decisions on shopping portals and all of this stuff, that's really going to come down to what your specific use case in mind is in the future, and that is going to lead us into what the next video in this Points and Miles Academy video series is going to be, which is trip planning. And this is going to be huge, especially if you have a use case in mind. We're going to get more into it. I don't want to spoil it, but you definitely want to watch the video on travel planning. It's probably one of, if not the most important video in this series. Like, even if you didn't watch the entire series, if you just watch travel planning, it's probably going to be very beneficial to you. So definitely stay in tune for that. But ultimately, I think, especially in times like right now, the thing you want to be hoarding, if anything, I say hoarding, not the other word, I don't want to say it, and then, but anyway, the points you want to be hoarding right now are those flexible point currencies. So thinking membership rewards by American Express, ultimate rewards by Chase, or those thank you points by Citi. And this is because you don't know what's gonna be here when the dust settles, what these programs are gonna be looking like. So you don't want to have your points, your hard-earned points, stuck with any of these programs. So I would definitely be focusing on these bank points, and that's what I would be looking at, and that's all I've pretty much been focusing on. I have not transferred a single point. I opened up that United card, but I haven't transferred any points into United or anything crazy like that. So that's what I would focus on if I were you. Wait until the dust settles before you're transferring any points, unless you have a trip very soon. But that is where I am gonna leave this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Give me some feedback if you still have some questions, or if you just wanna, you know, shoot some feedback. Say, yeah, this video was great, it changed my life. You know, thanks, Mike, you're the man. I appreciate that too. But as always, if you found some value in this video, drop me a like to let me know. And if you want to be sure to catch more content just like this in the future, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you're notified when I do upload. And as always, the only thing more valuable than your points is your money, and the only thing more valuable than your money is your time. But until next time, peace.